สวัสดีครับสวัสดีครับสวัสดีครับมาสักกันอัปเดตไหนก็ไม่รู้ว่าวันนี้เขาได้ไลฟ์ปะไม่รู้เหมือนกันนะ
คนปืนพร้อมรถถังนาฬิการะยะเผาขนยิงเลยยิงโดน SPA
ตอนนี้คือนั่งรอไลฟ์warthunder อยู่
ทำลายเป้าหมายแล้วรับทราบกำลังเดินหน้าทำลายเป้าหมายแล้วรถถัง11นาฬิกา
เพราะปกติรัสเซียมันจะไลฟ์3 ทุ่มใช่ปะ12 13 UTC เท่าไหร่อ่ะกี่โมงอ่ะใช่พอเราดู official อะแต่ปกติมันจะตั้งเวลาไลฟ์ไว้นะแบบจิ๊บๆก็ไม่ใช่ว่าไลฟ์เลย เฮ้อ เดี๋ยวเราดูไลท์ดับเบิลไลท์อีกทีนะนี่เราดูแบบไลท์ดับเบิลไลท์อีกทีหนึ่งก็ออฟฟิเชียลมันไม่ใช่หรอมันจะไลฟ์ไหมอะปกติถ้ามันไม่ไลฟ์วันนี้ก็อาจจะไลฟ์พรุ่งนี้ก็ได้ มันอาจจะไลฟ์ปะถ้าไม่ไลฟ์เราเดี๋ยวเราแคนเซิลเลยเราก็จะแบบ อันนี้เลย นี่ไงไลฟ์ดับเบิลไลฟ์อีกที มีปะมันยังไม่มาหรอต้องรอ13 UTC อ่ะกี่โมงอ่ะอืมถ้าไม่มีอะไรน่าสนใจนี่ก็จะเลิกจริงๆละเออเออ
สุดน่ารักสวัสดีครับ
ขอบคุณพี่ฟาร์มูด้วยค่ะ20 บาทขอบคุณมากค่ะเนี่ยเนรู้ไม่มันอันเนี้ยคืออะไรนะมันหมุนเหรอไลฟ์หมุนเหรอน่าจะเกิดบัฟเฟอร์ในการไลฟ์ป่ะจะลองปรับบิตเรทหน่อยได้ไหมคือเธอเน็ตกากฉันน่ะไปเช็คไลฟ์อื่นมามันไม่หมุนเลยเหรอเน็ตกากเหรอคะเดี๋ยวโชว์อินเทอร์เน็ตให้ดูก็ได้ไม่ด่านะเดี๋ยวเช็คให้ดูเลยว่ามันเท่าไหร่ กากยังไงก่อนไลฟ์ไม่เห็นมีปัญหาเลยเออแปลกดีกูกูเร็วได้แค่นี้เองนั่นเองเหรอก็โน้ตบุ๊กมันรับได้แค่เนี้ยก็เน็ตมันเร็ว2 กิกอะแต่โน้ตบุ๊กมันรับได้แค่จิกเดียวถ้าจะสนับสนุนคอมพิวเตอร์ก็สนับสนุนมาสิค่ะเศร้าอะเดี๋ยวคนดูด่าเด็ดกาดโทษละกันนะคะ อกไหนนะยังไม่ออกบินเหรอเธอก็บินไปแล้วไม่ใช่เหรอเอาบินเลยก็ได้อะเฮ้ยผมไม่เห็นมันได้ไงอะ รือเราจะต้องดูรัสเซียเวอร์ชันรัสเซียนตอน4 ทุ่มหรอใช่มันมาแล้วอ่ะปกติมันจะตั้งไอตัวโนติกไว้นะเดี๋ยวเล่น14 UTC ไอเลื่อนดิดาปกติมันจะมา13 UTC ไม่ใช่เหรอเอ้ยเลื่อนนี่โถเล่นเกมฟรีเออมันเลื่อนเลื่อนตอนแรกมัน13มันก็ประมาณ2 ทุ่ม14ก็3 ทุ่มมันลงทีเซอร์ช้าได้แหละปกติมันไม่เคยลงเช้านี่ทำไรอ่ะเฮ้ยทำใจลมใช่จะหลับก่อนนะดิเศร้าจัง อยู่ดีๆก็ไม่มีความสุขเป็นอะไรกันเนี่ยไบโพล่าแน่เลยสรุปมันเกิดบัฟเฟอร์ปะเพราะว่าเดี๋ยวหยุดละฮัลโหลฮัลโหลฮัลโหลทุกคนวิเคราะห์โดยบายเนรุว่าครั้งนี้เราจะมีอะไรเกิดขึ้นมาใหม่บ้างเดี๋ยวเราออกเกมก่อนเลยเนี่ยเราวิเคราะห์กันมาอ้าวสิ่งที่พูดมานี่ไม่เกินจริงเลยนะแต่ละอย่างมีความเป็นไปได้หมดแหละทุกอย่างอยู่ในหลักความเป็นไปได้และความเป็นไปไม่ได้ความเพ้อฝันนั่นแหละเราจะเป็นความเป็นไปได้แอดมินผู้ชายหรือหญิงเอ่ยเป็นทุกเพศครับตอนนี้เรามีทุกเพศละมีขันทีจบเลยตัดหามออกไปแล้วแบบตัดหามออกไปแล้วก็กลายเป็นแบบแต่ว่ามีลูกได้นะมีมดลูกอยู่ข้างในฉันไม่มีหามแต่ฉันก็มีลูกได้หรือฉันจะต้องไปผ่าตัดศัลยกรรมเติมหามให้มันใหญ่เลยสัก50 นิ้วตอนนี้เริ่มจะคุยไปเรื่อยแล้วครับตอนนี้เอาที่สบายใจอ่ะผมมาช้ามากไหมไม่มากเท่าไหร่ครับเพราะว่าเกมมันบิดเราก็ไม่ได้บิดเลยดิมันจะเลื่อนก็แล้วแต่มันอะ ได้เวลาคนครางเมื่อวานผมเล่นท้าย90โดน BT5 เกรียนธรรมดาครับเพราะว่ารถมันบางอะนะปืนกลธรรมดาก็เข้าอย่าไปเปิดข้างให้มันละกันนะอ่ะเดี๋ยวไลฟ์แค่นี้พอเดี๋ยวไลฟ์แค่นี้ก็พอนะคะเหมียวแค่นี้ก็เพียงพอแล้วค่ะเพราะฉะนั้นละค่ะก็คงทำใจนะคะเสียงแม่งตอแหลจัด เสียงไม่หวานแล้วทำให้คุณเสียวถึงขึ้นสวรรค์ได้แล้วกันนะคิดอะไรอ่ะพี่พูดอะไรน่ะเอ้ยพูดอะไรที่ไหนแล้วไม่มีอันนี้สำหรับโหมดเพอร์เจอร์ไงโหมดเพอร์เจอร์ไงอย่าถือสาเลยนะคะอย่าถือสาวีคนนี้เลยนะปากจัดเล็กน้อยแต่บ้าเงินนะเอาจริงๆก็มีอีกเวอร์ชันหนึ่งอะลองเปิดเวอร์ชัน2เลยไหมเดี๋ยวก็จะบอกว่าแบบอวตารอะไรอีกอวตารตัวเดียวกันนั่นแหละ พี่เป็นแมวหรือเป็นเสือเราไม่เหมือนกันมั้งมีคำในโลดีคำวิดีโอเข้ามาเป็นแม่เป็นเสือเหรออืมเป็นตัวนั้นแหละเอาที่เราสบายใจอะถ้าเราไม่สบายใจให้พี่เป็นอะไรอะเราก็จะเป็นสิ่งนั้นนั่นแหละหรืออยากให้เป็นตะกรวดป่าล่ะปีนต้นไม้อะไรอย่างเงี้ยไม่ได้กวนตีนะแต่ว่าแบบวันนี้ใครเข้ามาช่วงเวลานี้ก็คือช่วงเวลาแห่งเนรุเกรียนนะคำพูดจะไม่ค่อยคัดกรองเท่าไหร่ถ้าพูดผิดประการใดขออภัยนะที่นี้ถ้าคิดมากก็ผูกคอตายไปซะจะเป็นช่วงที่ค่อนข้างเข้าสู่โหมดแบบจริงโหมดที่แบบหงุดหงิดแต่ไม่รู้จะไปลงกับอะไรโอเคเดี๋ยวผมทำหยอกทำอะไรทำใจ เดี๋ยวทำไมคุณจะทำไมคุณจะผูกคอตายใต้ต้นมะเขือเหรอโถอย่าไปผูกเลยเดี๋ยวไม่มีลูกมะเขือกินนะพอเดี๋ยว YouTube แบบสไตร์ช่องเพราะฉะนั้นนะก็อย่าทำให้หนูบินเลยนะคะวันนี้จะเป็นเนรุร่างไอ้นี่ไงร่างสับเปลืออะเข้าใจปะเนี่ยไลฟ์จนแบบไม่มีไลฟ์จนไม่มีคนดูอ่ะเปล่าผมจะไปอยู่ใต้ต้นมะขามไปเลยลาลาลาลาลาลาลาอีก35 นาทีเท่านั้น ตอนนี้ Energy เฮือกสุดท้ายกำลังจะหมดลง หนาวสั่นเป็นขี้เรือนอย่าสนใจอย่าสนใจเลยอย่าสนใจเลยอย่าทุกคนบอกว่างงไปไม่เข้าใจคุยอะไรกันAnd why was sound ตอนนี้กำลังเฟดร้องอยู่บทเพลงความตายจะหลับแล้วทุกคนยังไม่มาอีกเหรอหนูไม่ไหวแล้วนะคะเนี่ยอยากรู้ว่าแบบได้ฝุ่นเราจะได้อัปเกรดหรือเปล่าแค่นั้นเลยอะอะไรนะอะไรนะคืออะไรไม่มีอะไรนี่อะไรอ่ะสวัสดีค่ะพี่สวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีพี่บูลินด้วยนะคะสวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีทุกคนเลยนะใครเข้ามาดูแล้วก็เปลี่ยนเลยนะคะถ้าพูดผิดถ้าพูดอ่าถ้าพูดผิดอะไรก็ขออภัยด้วยนะตอนนี้เข้าสู่เซฟแบบเซฟโหมดอะไม่วากละหมดหมดพลังงานแล้วทุกคนเนาะเราแบบเป็นเราเป็นแบบมนุษย์ปนาหน่อยมิก25ใครจะไล่ทันจรวดอะไล่ทันอยู่ความร้อนชางั้นอะความร้อนชาขนาดนั้นอะคิดว่ามันจะหลบทันไหม แต่ก็ไม่แน่นะ มันก็จะใช้ความเร็วเข้าช่วยฉายามันชื่ออะไรนะคะ คุณแมคคานิกบอกหน่อยเออเพราะมันดังไงฟอกแบทไม่เกี่ยวอะไรเลย อย่าสนใจทุกคน อยากรู้ว่ากิฟเพนอยากรู้แค่ใต้ฝุ่นว่ามันจะอัปเกรดหรือเปล่าแค่นั้นแหละที่มานั่งดูไลน์นะเดี๋ยวแบบรู้ไลน์รู้เสร็จว่าแบบอัปเกรดหรือเปล่าอะไรเงี้ยก็แบบขอให้มันมีอะไรที่มันแบบว้าวแบบชีวิตนี้คือฉันอยากได้ของใหม่แล้วอะไรอย่างเงี้ยอืมตอนแรกผมจะเอา S16AJ บินไปดักหน้าครับและจะลองโยกโมโหประสาทมันแล้วเข้าไปดักไฟ แล้วก็คงจะไม่ต้องเสียเวลาด็อกไฟหรอก
มึงวางเมลอนไว้บนโต๊ะด้วยครึ่งลูก
นั่นแหละเมื่อกี้ได้ยินเสียงคลิปปะแตงโมแตงโมแตงโมแตงโมลูกหวานใหญ่ นั่นน่ะเพื่อนพี่เขามาแล้วน่ะมาใหม่ครับสวัสดีนะครับสวัสดีครับยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่ช่องโวยวายชาแนลมาดูแค่นั้นแหละว่ามีไต้ฝุ่นอัปเกรดหรือเปล่าถ้าไต้ฝุ่นนิวเนี่ยแบบคนก็พิวอยู่นิวยูโรไฟเตอร์แค่นั้นเลย ขอแค่นั้นแหละผมมีคำถามว่าอะไรครับก็ไม่นานนะครับนิดหน่อย8-9 เดือนเควี 2เควี 2คืออะไรอ่ะทำไมอ่ะเควี 2อะไรพิมพ์พิมพ์เควี 2คืออะไรแค่นั้นแหละ นาทีเท่านั้นนายก็จะไล่ก็กินแล้ว สวัสดีทุกคนเดี๋ยวผมไปก่อนละกันขออภัยที่ดูอะไรไม่ได้ไม่เป็นไรครับ พี่อะไรนะ ไม่เป็นไรครับพี่ลีฟปวดหลังอะแก่หรือไงเนี่ยไม่แก่หรอกแม่นอนทับขาชา ชอบคนแก่ครับ มีเสน่ห์พูดไปเรื่อยไงไม่แก่ อยากอยากแก่นะอยากแก่นะ อยากเกิดอยากแก่อยากอายุสัก40เอาไปทำอะไรอะเหรอ ถ้าเป็นแบบชาวบ้านแก่ๆแล้วเรียกเลยลูกให้ลูกหลานเลี้ยง แต่นี่ลูกหลานอะไรล่ะ ลูกหลานมีแต่แมวไง เลี้ยงเราได้เปล่าแอวเอ้ยเหรอมีลูกไงลูกแมวอ่ะใช่ไหมลูกหืมมามองแม่ทำไมหืมไหนจกพุงจกพุงจกพุงเอาละทุกคน9 นาทีสุดท้ายของชีวิตจะหลับตอนนี้เลยหรือเปล่า เมมเบรนพาริซอลอาริเทอรี่น็อตเบรดออสเรเดียลออยสไปเดอร์อะไรนะ มันมาแล้วมันมาแล้วมันมาแล้วง่วงแล้วเหงาแมวร้ายแมวเล่นหอยทากแมวร้ายเล่นหอยทากเหมียวเหมียวเหมียวคืออะไรแล้วทุกคนอย่าไปสนใจเลยโวยวายไปนะพูดไม่รู้เรื่องแค่นั้นแหละทำให้มันดูมีสีสันมากขึ้นกระตุ้นให้ตัวเองตื่นละ1 นาทีเท่านั้น1 นาทีอันรอคอยดูสิว่ายูโรไฟเตอร์มันจะมีอะไรอัปเดตหรือเปล่า25ที่รอคอยรอไปเลยไม่รอสวยกระแส5 4 3 2 1 Lady
Hello and welcome.
Hello. How are we doing today? All
Fantastic.
good? Excellent.
Yes.
So this is the developer stream for the, well, we're not developers, we are on the dev server. And this is where we'll show you all the new stuff. Well, some of the new stuff coming in the next update. Mostly everything's ready. There's some stuff that's a bit placeholder right now that we don't quite have completely configured. So we'll obviously let you know about that.
สวัสดีต้อนรับทุกคนที่เราจะมาอัปเดต
We'll mostly just be focusing on the vehicles.
ตัดเข้าเนื้อหา
And
เลย
we probably won't be reading too much chat until the very end. So if you'd like to ask questions, we'll try and save some time at the end to answer that. if you'd like to ask some stuff, please, I'd say move over to Twitch because we do have a bit of a delay on YouTube and it's not quite as easy to catch up on stuff there. So hopefully we can have some stuff at the end. Periodically, we'll be looking and trying to read some bits and bobs as we go through. But let's begin.
Let's
So
start.
challenge
When you're
yourself.
looking at the first thing,
Of course. So I'll start off here and show you some bits and bobs. So firstly, I'll show you the Fireball,
อ่า
which is one of my
ก้าว
favorite
ใหม่
prop
นะ
aircraft.
ทุกคน
It's
ก้าว
mixed
ใหม่
propulsion. It's a little bit weird. It's got a jet engine in the back, which is the same as on the P-59, and a prop in the front. It's not overwhelmingly speedy, as you'd probably imagine. But its speed is quite consistent, which I think is the main thing. Like, it can hold over 600 in a straight line at most altitudes, which is really quite good.
พอ
for
เล่
what
น
it
ใช่ไหม
is.
เอาเข้าแล้ว
especially for the battle
ไม่ได้
rating.
ต่างอะไรเปิดป้อมแมว
So I'm not too sure what will happen with that. If it go up or down, well, probably not down. But the main negative really is the armament. It's only got 4 guns. They do have late war belts though, so not too bad. They've got the really nice APITs and 2 types of drop tanks because the fuel, it being a jet, it is harmonized fuel, so there's only 1 slider for both the prop and the jet. It does have 2 drop tanks, so you can always
งาน
min-max
รีบ
that.
ไงธรรม
And
ดา
they did a new
ต้
feature
อง
for
งาน
Hangar,
รีบอยู่
which
แล้ว
you've
แหละ
probably seen in some dev blogs, is
เหมือน
if
เพิ่ง
we go
ตื่นกันแล้วมา
into
ทำงานเลยอะ
the customization, there's a slider down here, or a toggle, which will show you all the weaponry that you can equip. And if you hover over it, it'll give you the details on what it can
สิ่ง
do.
เขาพูดรัว
And
มา
this
ก
is
เลยแม่งแบบ
toggleable,
ทุกอย่าง
so
ใส่
if
ส
you're
กิล
not, you don't want to see it all the time, and I will just
เนื้อ
briefly
หา
show
เนี่ย
you
ต้อง
for
รี
some
บยัดภายใน
aircraft
1
that
ชั่ว
have
โมง
a staggering amount of ordnance, it can be a bit overwhelming if you just want to look at the plane. So you can very easily turn that off if you're not too interested in seeing all of it. But it can be useful to
ก็
see
ใส่อ
just
ย่างนี้ก็
what
เท่
everything
จริง
does and like
ดูอาวุธ
get
รัส
a
เซีย
kind of
สิ
visual
นี่ดู
representation
พอดู
and
อย่าง
all
นี้
the
ก็ดูมัน
details
เย
that
อะ
go along.
จริงพอไปจริง
So
ที่โล
back to
หน่อยเดียวเอง
Fireball, rank 3 premium. There's already, I think, America between 4.0 and 5.0 is quite saturated, so there's a lot of fighters there, but it's a nice little premium. It's not too on the pricey side either. It's just, good old premium enjoyability, which is nice. So we do have another little feature here in the hangar, which works currently, I think, just for aircraft and some tanks. If you click on them, they'll do some little animation. So it's not, a groundbreaking thing. It's just
ใส่
if you like to sit in the
Phải
hangar a
làm
lot and
hơn.
just click on stuff, it's kind of tactile and kind of nice. So that should work for everything right now. They don't take off. They just sort of look like they're
ดู
going
น่าภู
to.
มิใจมากเลยอะ
But I think it's nice. It's a sweet little detail, and there should be a few more details like that as well for tanks and ships too. So
พอเล่นใช่
moving
ไหม
on
ก็
from
เลย
Fireball, I've got a few naval bits and bobs to show you. First, we'll have a look at Forrest
เนี่ยเรือ
Sherman,
ป้อม
which
แมว
is
3
a
ป้อม
development basically from Charles F. Adams, which I have here. It does not have the missile system on the back. It has an extra gun and then 2 mounts of the 76s here. Usually, this type of ship has quite good survivability, not quite so in this case because it has lots of racks above the waterline. You have the 2 here from the auxiliary guns, which you could empty
และอะไร
if
ล
you
อยบน
really
ฟ้า
want to focus
ระบบ
on
เรดาร์เหรอ
survivability.
อะไรบ้าง
Please ignore the floating mines, by the way.
งาน
We
รีบ
couldn't
จ
turn
ริง
those off
ๆ โอ
in
เค
time. But this
งาน
rack
รีบ
here
มาก
as well is
อันนี้
exposed
คือ
above
งาน
the
รีบ
fuel tank,
มาก
so
ๆ
that's
เหมือน
going
แบ
to
บ
be a little bit
ไม่รู้
tricky.
ยัดไว้ก่อนแหละทำ
Survivability,
มาก่อ
because
น
usually on these kinds of ships,
ไม่
disregarding
เป็นไร
the
ให้
missiles at
อ
the
ภัย
back,
เกม
everything is quite low down, so survivability is pretty good. Not so much on this one if you're fighting somebody who knows what they're doing. So not quite sure, but firepower is really good. The fire rate's great on these guns. They're pretty powerful. They can work against light cruisers too. So not too bad there. South Dakota is our next one, which is kind of like
Yeah,
a
South
jump
Dakota.
between like the previous class and Iowa. It's like a kind of slightly squished Iowa, and so please forgive me, I'm not too well versed in ships. But in terms of like a bridging the gap kind of vehicle, it's pretty nice. It fires the same rounds as Iowa, but they're not quite as powerful, of course, because the guns generally aren't as powerful either. But the HE, of course, is the same, and that's the same on the previous classes as well. Armor is pretty nice too. It has
เอาละครับ
pretty
ที่
much
เรือ
the
ที่
same
เรือ
as the
จะประ
same
มาณนี้นะ
inclined
ครับ
belt,
เร็ว
so
เด็กโอเคประมาณนี้ครับ
survivability wise, you are pretty
อธิ
solid.
บายปึ๊บเป็นประมาณนี้ประมาณ
You
นี้
do
ภายใน
have the same as the Iowa as well on the second turret, which is a bit exposed, but tons of anti-air. It's a really iconic ship. It's really cool. So you do have quite a few nice naval vehicles this time around as well. A couple of very brief additions here too. The RDF has smoke grenades, which is really nice. And I think if I click on this, it should show you what the animations for tanks do as well. It also updates, it's a really small thing, but I like that it updates with the armor as well. So not really a great representation of anything, but I think that's kind of cool. That will show you little things as well. So just small, superficial stuff, but
มี
it's
แอ
a
นิ
nice
เม
little
ชัน
detail.
ให้มันหมุน
The Abrams as
จาก
well
ที่
has
แบบ
a
จอด
couple
นิ่ง
of
ๆก็ดีอยู่
upgrades
แล้
here.
ว
Smoke
นี่
charges
ไง
have
ส
been
มุกใหม่
updated, and it now has a laser
Nó
warning
nhiều
receiver
lẹo.
too,
RWL
just to give it a bit of an upgrade. Nothing else too drastic for it, but just some nice little upgrades that it has to make it stand out a bit more. And I think that's all for me at the moment. If you want to move on to some other stuff.
Yes, certainly. Switch around and look at my screen.
นี่ M10
Which
Booker
one vehicle that I can show you here is the M10 Booker that is coming in the US tree, which currently you have a vehicle that is sitting at about 10.7. Of course, battle rating can still change.
10.7 จริงเหรอ
With a 5-second reload for the 105mm gun and currently the M900 shell, which
It's like a sort of squished Abrams. I quite like
เชื่อ
it.
เลย
Yeah,
ว่าต้องเป็น 11
more,
3ต้องเป็น 11 เป๊ะคอยดู
uh,
ไม่มีทาง
I guess like a low armored Abrams because
Yeah,
it's
not very
very
well protected.
it is very at the lower end
ก
of
ระตุกกระตุก performance เครื่องขนาด
The
เครื่อง
armor's not quite
เครื่อง
finished
นี้
yet,
ยัง
so
ไม่
if you
ไหว
look
เล
at it,
ย
it's got a hole through the middle, so please
yes, but
disregard that for now. But
just quickly focusing on like kind of the side armor because you're probably not going to be able to withstand a lot of anti-air guns that are coming your way, but you're probably also trying to be more mobile with this because it's a more lightly armored vehicle with a relatively quick reload, relatively good mobility. You have thermals and well 522mm of pen. At this battle rating, you're probably not going to have a lot of problems penning most vehicles even from the
yeah, I
front.
mean it's offensively identical pretty much to the early Abrams.
Yes. Then a second vehicle that we can focus on, the NASAMS. I will briefly mention this because
ทำไม
we
อุ้ย
will get
ฮัม
back
วี่
to
ปรับ
it
ใหม่
later
เหรอ
on. But we have this in for the US and for the
Sweden as well.
Swedish tree as well. Yes. Then
As
well,
you can see, the overwhelming
yes, the
array of weaponry that you
the
have.
absolute amount of
For the
armament.
นี่ไง
I think honestly, it's a very good way of kind of like visualizing what
E.
weapon is what type.
S18
Yeah, I thought initially it would be a bit kind of cluttered.
Yes.
But as it's completely optional, you can turn it off. It shouldn't be a problem really. But
and
it's nice.
it to a degree it does it does show a lot. What I found to have a very good use for this is comparing what armament loadouts you have on different, because of course like if you have a different version of this plane that has slightly different armament types, you can kind of immediately see which one of these is not there.
Yeah, it's
rather
harder
than-
to, if you're looking through like the modification window, it's harder to
Exactly.
judge. Yeah.
And so obviously now
เนี่ย
we
F18
talked
E
about that,
ซุป
but the actual reason why I'm showing you this is
ตรงไหน
because we have the Super Hornet in
ผิด
the
ตรง
game.
ไหน
First things first, you have 2 additional MRAMs
No,
on
9X.
on this one. You have the I think total missile loadout of 14 on this, 12
เป็นสอง
missiles
ลูกเลยเหรอ
that you can bring as M120s to M9Ms. You also have a phased array
เยอะมา
radar
ซึ่งเยอะมาอีก2ลูกสินะ
on this one.
ปลายปีกนั่นน่ะ
Which
ปลายปีกอ่ะ
From a perspective of this being a missile bus
radar,
is
ESA.
probably going to give you a lot of better opportunities because you have a much more capable radar. Now, FA-18s are usually not on the higher end in terms of speed in a game. You're usually slower than most planes coming in. But
ESA.
because you have so many missiles, if you get into the correct position in a match, be that CAS support because you have a lot of options, or be that air superiority,
แล้วอะไรลูกใหญ่ๆนั่นน่ะ
in a good position to do a lot of damage. Well, especially because this is
performance
14 missiles total
เครื่
that
อง
you
เค
can
รื่อง
bring,
แม่มีปัญหาแน่
vastly better than some of the other planes that you're fighting at this battle rating.
ไรเขากระตุก
Which brings me back to you, I believe.
Yeah, I've got some more things for Germany to show you. So I'll briefly cover the new naval
อ่ะ
additions.
เรื
This
อตอน
is
นี้
the
เรือเรามี
MPK
เรือลำนี้เข้ามา
151. It's
ลำ
slightly
นี้เรา
different
จะอ
from
ธิ
the
บายยังไงดี
M
มี
variant
อา
that's
วุ
in
ธ
the
ใหม่
Soviet
เข้า
tree.
มาอย่างเช่นปืนให
The
ญ่
gun
อ
on
ยู่
the
ข้างหลั
back
ง
is
เรา
the
นะ
Jewel
ก๊อป
57,
ปี้
which
มา
has
จาก
a bit
เรือ
more
รัส
ability
เซีย
against destroyers since it has
เป้า
AP.
หมายของเราในการนี้
76
เรา
does
มี
not,
กระสุน
so
รับ
the
ตัว
AP
นี้
belt is
มาเนาะ
You're still a
ประมาณ
frigate,
นี้ประ
you're
มาณนี้
pretty
ประมาณนี้
vulnerable, but you do at least have the firepower to go through destroyers at relatively close range. The gun on the front is
เอาไว้
slightly
ทำอะไร
different
บ้าง
too. It's the
นาน
dual
ๆนี่ก็
barrel
มีการ
30.
ปรับเด็ก
instead of
ให
the
ม่
single.
สีใหม่อะไรไม่รู้เรื่อง
So
ไม่รู้
a little bit different. I think this was initially made
อย่า
for
ดราม่านะทุกคน
the Navy for Germany as well, actually. But yeah, it's a little bit different rear armament and frontal armament, but otherwise it's pretty similar. Next we have Luchens, which is it's another like Charles F. Adams modification. I think it
แต่
was
ก็ยัง
actually
เป็น
the
ดัม
last
มี่
destroyer
วันยัง
Germany
ค่ำเลยเนาะ
operates,
แอ
at
ส
least
ล็อก
by class.
ลำนั้นน่ะ
Yeah, you've got the same dual 127mm guns, really good fire rate, and it doesn't have the extra racks, so you're pretty survivable apart from the missile rack at the back. This one only has the single missile as opposed to the dual, but the fire rate is much quicker, currently at 8 seconds per shot, which is much quicker, and I think it's almost double for the other variant. So
เรียกว่า
same as what
ชี้
we've seen
เอา
already,
จริงๆ
but
เอาไม่
just
ต้อง
one for
เรียกว่ามิส
Germany
ไซล์
and
ดีกว่า
a
เรียกว่าเป็น
slightly
แบบ
more
เป็นมิสไซล์เล
faster
เซอ
fire
ร์
rate
ดี
for
ก
the
ว่า
missile as well, but you only have one instead of two.
ก็คุม
So
คุม
from
ด้วย
that,
การ
we
ยิง
also have
ชี้
the
เมาส์
Jaguar
what
to
the
show you,
fuck
which is
หรือจากัว
a development on like the hot platform,
รถนี้นะโน้
which
มัน
obviously you
ทำมา
already
ติด
know.
วีท
This one fires advanced tow missiles, so it's offensively identical again to the Weasel,
ว้าวแบบ
but
ดู
a lower
ว้าวมาก
BR90 instead of 97. It doesn't quite have the same stealth capacity or slightly worse gun
ทุกอย่าง
depression,
อาจจะเปรียบ
18
รี
as
บรีบ
opposed to
รับ
20.
เดี๋ยวตอนนี้ยังไม่
You've got
มันยังไม่ถึงจุด
Same
ไคลแม็กซ์
array of missiles, slightly more ammunition
F18
as
ดู
well.
แบบโดนบก
This is
บัง
the
หมด
version
เลย
that
โดน
has
ปิ
the
ดบัง
extra
หมดเลย
armor
แม่งอธิบายแค่
on
นั้นแหละจ
top.
บ
It's not going to really do much apart from slightly slow you down, but I mean against some lightly armored
ใส่
light
แอมแรมได้
projectiles, excuse
12
me.
ลูกก็จริงนะ
It
แม่ง
will
เป็น
work
สาย
a
ไว
little
เดอร์
bit,
อีกก็เป็น
but generally it's not going to do too much.
โอ้โหเยอะเลยนะ
But
เนี่ย
it's nice for the 9093 lineups before you get the Weasel, and it's a little bit more robust as well in some instances. So I think it's a nice addition there. It's quite an iconic vehicle as well.
Yeah, and well, you at least have some protection against 50 cals and such,
Yes, a little.
which is good.
It's good for that at least.
Yes,
So is it on to you?
indeed.
Right, you got some more planes, I think.
Yes.
มาแล้ว
We have
เอซ่าของฉัน
Another addition in the high tier battle
กิน
rating
ได้หรือเปล่า
area, which is the Eurofighter.
มีไรเล่นไหม
Now sporting an
มีอะไรของใหม่บ้าง
AESA
หน้า
radar
มีอะไรเท่าไหร่
well, phased
เอ
array
ซ่า
radar,
เรดาร์ เป็นแคปเตอร์ E
It's German
we
way
have
of saying it.
yes. There's another additional quirk. Right now we have 3
Oi!
different Eurofighters in the game. The
อันนี้เปลี่ยน
one
แอ
for
มแรม
Germany
ไง
is the
แอม
only
แรม
one that
ไง
doesn't
พอร์ต
have an
นะ
IRST.
ใต้พอร์ต
That's
ตาอินเทกอะเอ้ย
Is this little
10 ลูก
bolt
อะ
in front here that is also
10
now
ลูก 8
included
ลูก
in the German one,
ปกติ 6 ลู
which
ก
is quite nice. Probably a good addition if you are sporting in that area, because that was one of the things
เอ้ย
that
ใต้อินเทกเปลี่ยน
was
ใหม่
lacking on the
เยี่ยม
German one compared to the British and the Italian Eurofighter. Now, there
โอ้ย
is another
เทค
change to the
เปลี่ยนใหม่
Eurofighters, and that is that
นั่น
you
แหละ
have the ability
อย่าง
to
นี้
bring
แหละ
2 double racks of
เนี่ยดับเบิลแล็กไง
M120 and 2 individual M120s on each wing, which brings up your total
ใส่ได้
missile
เท่าเดิม
count to
ปะวะเนี่ย
10
6 ลูก
and
แบบเนี้ย
essentially gives you 25% more radar missiles that you can lob at people. Right now, the Eurofighters that we have in the game have 6 max M120s. Now that goes to 8. 10 missiles total. You have a extremely powerful radar on all 3.
แคปเตอร์ E
That is, well, it is in the name of the vehicle already. And that is both for the German tree, for the British tree, and for the Italian tree. Now the weapon loadout on these 3 are basically the same.
แอมแรมเท่าเดิม
So I'm
ครับ
not
แค่
going to
เปลี่ยน
go too
เป็น
much
แบบ
into
เป็น
detail
ดับเบิลแล็ก
about other weapons, but
จบแค่นั้น
it
แหละ
basically gives both the current one that we already have in the game and the
ยัง
Praise the Ray
ยังไม่ถึงแซว
Eurofighter
ญี่ปุ่นเลยแซวญี่ปุ่นบน
25%
บิ๊ก
more
บัง
ammo
หมดแล้ว
in the radar missile count, which is, I think, a really worthwhile addition. And you're looking at the next vehicle.
Yeah, I've got quite a few things to show you for the USSR.
โอ้
I
แต่
think it's
เสีย
probably
ดาย
one of the
ลูก
most
ไอริสไม่
popular
มา
things. I can't show you the armor right now because it's not quite finished. The armor on the premium version is just about done, not quite, but the regular one not so much. So I won't show you that because I think it will give the
It's
wrong
all
impression.
layer.
Because right now I think it's like 555 millimeters all over, which is not what it's going to look like. So I'll briefly cover the differences between them. Offensively, they're identical. Both the premium and the regular version, they use the same firepower,
ทำไมเลท
same
มันอยู่
missile
ต่ำจัง
loadout,
อะ
same main cannons. I do not know if the accuracy of the cannons is going to reflect the video all of you know about, where they are going all over the place. I have no idea on that. In terms of protection and survivability, that's mostly the differences. So this version has 5 crew members, 3 in the front, 2 here, whereas the premium one here has 3.
อันนี้เป็นพรีเมีย
The
ม
armor on the premium one is going to be slightly
Oh,
better.
look,
Not
premium.
really to the point where it's going to change a
Look,
huge amount. From,
look.
as far as I understand it, they're not quite finished, so it's hard to get a really good perspective on that. But it's going to be easier to one-shot, but harder to get through. Whereas on the regular version, it's going to be harder to one-shot, but
ไอ้พว
easier
ก
to
รัส
get
เซีย
through.
นี่ภูมิใจเลย
This version as well has 2 dual 30mm grenade launchers. They're not
premium อะ
really going to do too much, but they're a bit of a
ต้อง
spectacle
มี
at
พรี
least.
เมียมทุกแพทเลยที่ไหนวะเนี่ย
You've got that. It's quite easy to one-shot it currently with HE to the gun array here because it's obviously going to splash down through the top. But in terms of armor, it's quite easy to hit it kind of like with a poor shot and for it to not do a huge amount of damage. I'll probably show you the ammo as well. So you've got the APDS, the 2 types of
อ๋อ
missiles
แต่มัน
here
ไม่
as
มี
well.
ลูกเข็ม
And then this is the same 30mm that's on the BMP-M as well. But yeah, I won't show you the armor because again it's unfinished. Hopefully, I think by the time the dev server
ไม่ได้
comes
เพิ่ม
out
ครับ
on one of
แค่
the
เป
following
ลี่ยนเป็น
updates to the dev
ตัว
server, it should be
ดับ
finished.
เบิลไอ้นี่
And you should get a better perspective then, because right now I'm not 100% sure on what it's going to look like other
เป็น
than
แบ
that.
บ
But yeah, it's going to be
เป็น
nice.
ไพ
It's
ลอน
a
คู่เฉย
very,
ๆไม่ได้เพิ่ม
very
6 ลูกเท่าเดิม
survivable, relatively at least, kind of
เป็น
IFV
แค่
like
เป็น
this.
ไพลอน
It's
เป็น
classified
ไพ
as
ล
an
อนแบบ
ETGM carrier
เป็นแบบคู่แทน
rather than like a
จากที่
light
ปก
tank,
ติ
so it's
เรา
not
ต้อง
going to have light tank
ไม่ใช่
ability as far as I
เขาเรียกอะไร
understand. But yeah, it's really cool vehicles. It looks like, I don't know, the spacey vibe of it I think is really nice. I quite like that. Anyway, so yeah, won't show you the armor yet. Should be able to have a deeper look on the dev server quite soon, which should be up relatively soon after we finish too. I do have some more things to show you. We'll have a brief
นี่
look at
แพ
the
นเค้ก
DBLK,
แพน
which
เค้กเวอ
is
ร์ชัน
the
รัส
new
เซีย
Loto Premium pseudo flying wing bomber. I think it's only about, it's like 500G, 550G, so it's a rank 1 premium. And same with the Fireball, like low rank USSR is quite saturated for these kinds of vehicles. There's a lot of them around the BR. And this is a very unique one. It's one of the coolest designs. It looks almost like it's made up, but it existed, it flew. Didn't quite perform well enough to replace the DB3, but
ทำไม
still pretty
ประ
good.
เทศ
I'll
อื่น
briefly
ไม่
show
เห็
you
น
the
เล่
flight
นบ้างเลย
performance.
ล่ะฮะ
Um,
ของ
do
รัสเซีย
somehow.
นี่ต้องรีวิว
yes,
ทุกอย่างละเอียด
it
ยิบ
looks like it has 2 frontal guns. It doesn't. Those are gunner positions as well, so they move slightly. The gunner positions at the back, they both have 2 guns. They're not quite, they don't cover a huge amount of range.
Very unique rotation.
Yeah, it reminds me a
those.
bit of the Focke-Wulf 189 a little bit. But yeah, so the movability is not quite as I'll drop the bomb so it's a bit better.
เอ็มแรมบวก
It's
8
not quite as staggering as you might think
บวก8อะไร
compared
อ่ะ
to a lot of
ได้
other
ฝุ่น
flying
เหรอ
wing
ได้ฝุ่น
designs.
ไหม
It's still
นะ
quite a
ฝุ่น
heavy
เหมือนเดิม
plane. But the stall
ใส่
speed
ไว้
is
เดอ
quite
ร์สอง
good,
ก็เป็น
which for a
8
bomber is not necessarily the most useful thing that you have. But you can still do some silly stuff with it, and with how strong the gunners are at this
แต่ว่า
battle
แบบ
rating, you can probably
แต่
do
ว่า
some.
S18 นี่คือได้
Like
14
I like
ลูก
playing
อะบอก
bombers
เลย
like fighters,
S18
and this looks like quite a good one to do that with. So
14 ลู
you
ก
can
อะ
do
แอมแรม
some
12 ลูก
relatively silly stuff with it. But at the end of the day, it's still a bomber. It's not incredibly quick, but you do have 2 1,000 kilogram bombs. The max load is 2,000. Can mix and match that however you like.
มูแต่ลี
So
ลา
it's a very big
อุ้ย
target
ขับ
for
ขับ
ground realistic. So it
ขั
may
บ
not
เสี
be
ยเว
the
ลา
best
ดู
pick
ของหลัก
for that.
สิ
But in terms of bomb loads, it's very strong. You're probably still better off using the BB1 or one of those.
เพราะดูแบบ
other
ของ
attackers,
ไอ้ไต้ฝุ่น
yeah,
ยัง
it's
จะ
a
ดู
cool
หน้า
one.
บิด
This is
กว่า
my
เยอะเลย
favorite
ฉัน
type
อั
of
ป
vehicle.
เกร
I
ด
think
ให้
just
เธ
with
อ
the
แล้วนะ
weird props.
เครื่องยนต์
Yeah,
ประ
I
มาณ
really like
นี้
weird props.
ไม่ได้เอาบอกว่า
so
แค่เอ
I
ซ่า
have a
จบ
saying for these kind of vehicles.
Don't
with
say
you.
it.
Yes.
We know it. Anyway, thank you for.
It's super unique wing design on that one.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's not a complete flying wing. It's got the tail and everything, but it's a really really nice one.
Very memorable, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, it's a cool one. So next, I'll briefly show you Stalingrad. Do not be afraid. This one is the glassest of cannons. So it's very quick for its class. It has really powerful guns. They're more powerful than Kronstadt. It has SAP, which is very powerful, and more powerful AP as well. So firepower-wise, it's great. Speed-wise, it's great. Protection,
บนเอาวชิปก็เลย
terrible. It does not have strong protection at all. As you can see, this is mostly the best that it gets. And the ammo racks are also very, very vulnerable. So you've got the 7.7, very good firepower, very good speed, very good anti-air protection too. But very, very bad survivability. Like it's going to be very easy to knock this thing out.
อย่าว่าเกม
But firepower, great. Really, really nice. So core ship, and I'll very, very, very quickly show you. I think there was a couple of posts about this recently. People realized that the core 2 seaplane wasn't actually, it was in the game, but it wasn't visible on any ships. And now it's been added to, I think, Sovietsky, Soyuz, and Kronstadt. I don't think it's on any of the other ones. So very, very briefly show this. Like I like these kinds of aircrafts. They're kind of my favorite. So please humor me while I test fly this, just because it looks like a Porco Rosso plane, and I really like it. Yeah, it looks a bit like a shoe with a very chunky engine and a gun in the middle, and I like that. It's a
Could be
peak
like
vehicle for me.
Could be like
So-
a James Bond vehicle.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's that kind of. It looks like a real vehicle, but almost fake in a way. Of course, though, it's real. But yeah, the beefy engine and the fuselage design, it's really nice. It reminds me just of Porco's plane, and I like that a lot. So this is the new seaplane for Sovietsky Soyuz Kronstadt. Very, very brief mention, so nothing super exciting, I guess. But yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. But I think next you have probably what a lot of people are here to observe.
Yes. That's
If you'd like to give them a
นี่
visualizer.
ทอ M1 เข้ามาทันที
So
ทำคำเรียบร้อยบอกแล้วมาจริงด้วย
But I was going to talk about
บอก
the tor
แล้ว
first.
The funny plane.
But
The funny plane.
no, the
มาแล้ว
MiG-25, which is
นี่ไงตามความเรียบ
immediately
ร้อย
upon entering
เฮ้ยไม่เอา
warthunder,
เอาดูทอ M1
also
เมื่อ
the
กี้นี่
fastest plane that we have in the game.
โถ
I've tested
เรา
this
เข้า
earlier.
มา
I think we will test it in a second as well. Yes, you can go. I think I went Mach 2.8.
ใช้เวลาตั้ง
in it
3 ปี
before
แล้ว
I
เนี่ย
managed to rip it, but
The
I
engines are comically large.
yes, there's another part that you see already here. It almost looks
ของ
like
รัสเซีย
they're
ไม่
too
รู้
big
ว่า
for the plane.
มันต้องมีดิรัสเซียมัน
It's
ต้องมี
incredibly
ของเล่น
fast.
ต้องแหละโถ
Currently,
เล่น
you
ตาม
have
ก็จริงอยู่เล่นได้เล่นไม่ได้
the ability to bring up to 6 missiles on it. You can either pick
There's no
between
internal gun, is there?
no internal gun, sadly. Also, no ability to
มีดีแค่
currently
เครื่อง
bring
ยนต์อย่างเดียวอะ
a gun pod of sorts. So you are limited to the missiles that you have, but you can either bring 2 double racks of R60M and then 2 R40s, which are these are really big. These are telephone pole sized. I think each one weighs 460 kilograms. You have the option to bring either the radar guided ones or the IR aspect version. They fly pretty far, so they have a very good range, but this being a plane that is going to dominate in terms of speed anyways, you're probably not going to be in any rush to, launch on something because it's getting away from you. I think we are immediately just going to go on a test
Of course,
run.
it's what the people want.
Is the
Yeah, this is an event vehicle
Will of
for
the
the
people,
winter
yes.
event, which will have 4 vehicles. This is the only one we'll show you for now. The other ones are not quite finished yet. But this version of the PD is the
เครื่องบินทิ้ง
for
ระ
the
เบิด
winter
ชื่ออะไร
event,
อะ
which should start soon-ish after the AK.
comically large engines.
Comically large.
เครื่อง
Looks a little
เครื่
bit
องตัว
like
25
it's looking back at you over here.
A little.
แต่เวอร์ชันแบบสั้นลง
Ginormous intakes as well. All the fuel tanks are kind of around the air intakes as well. And in terms of like max speed on the deck, it's really easy to
ปรับใหม่ด้วย
overspeed
นะ
in this thing. That
ปรับ
was my
โลโก้
first
ใหม่
observation because I wanted to see how fast I can just accelerate. You accelerate really quickly, but you're going to start being in rip territory at like Mach 1 basically. Like it's already starting here. I can
พ
go
อ M1
quite
มาสักที
quicker still before it starts ripping, but you really need to start going upwards. And
ให้มันมีอะไรให้มันน่าตื่นเต้นอีกสิ
1
เปิด
in front
เปิดอะไร
here
มาก็ได้สัก
to
เวิร์กหนึ่ง
show you roughly
แต่ว่า
what
เป็น
the
ทอแบบ
R40s
ขอ
are
6
looking
ลูก
like.
ได้ไหมไม่เอาแบบ8ลูกไม่เอาแบบ6
As
ลูก
long as
มา
you disintegrate on the way.
Yeah, I need to continue climbing because otherwise I can't lock them over here because it's
Okay.
going to make my wings disappear way too quickly. Quickly go for that. Launch one of
เดี๋ยวรอ
those.
ไปเทสก็ได้
They have dual trails. It seems so.
ทำไมของ
They
รั
do
สเซียมัน
indeed.
เทสหมดเลยทำไม
So how are these
อเมริกา
missiles,
ยุโรป
how they like?
ตั้งเทสแล้วนะ
So you're more
ยังทำ
into
ไม่
this
เสร็จ
kind of space of the game than me.
I think for the battle rating that you're in, they're gonna be pretty good. Because especially right now the vehicle is sitting in like a 10-3 battle rating.
Mick.
Of course, we're on a dev
เท่าไหร่
server. Things
คือ
are
อะไร
subject to change.
Famous line.
อะไรคือเท่าไหร่
Yes, probably one of the iconic lands that you can't get around as well. In that battle rating, there's only on the upper echelon there's vehicles that have radars and
เล
missiles
ทเหรอ
that are
เลท13ไหม
maybe better
10.3
still.
ไหม
But then again, the other thing with this plane is it's really fast, so you're just gonna fly away. Nothing that is sitting at this battle rating is going to comfortably be able to catch you when you go to 11,000 meters and you're going Mach 1.6. And this is not even the final form. I'm just gonna continue. I'm just gonna continue accelerating here because
เพราะเขาไม่ได้เปิดค่าวิจัย
Yeah, it's,
ให้มันจะไปรู้ไปแล้วเขา
something
เชิญ
else.
เครื่องเลยอ่ะ
you're basically constantly in reduced speed as well. You have
อยู่ข้างบน
64 flares as well.
Must
Flares in general, I personally am a big enjoyer of flares. I don't like dying to any high G
โอ้โห
missiles
ไม่
that
ว้า
are
วเท่า
coming
ไหร่หร
my
อก
way. This
พอ
might
แล้ว
have a
ล่ะ
little
แค่
bit
นี้
of
แห
a
ละ
problem when it's going really fast to evade something. Then again, it can just fly away. So
You're still zooming.
yes, it just keeps accelerating.
เดี๋ยวจะผ่าน
When does it end?
20,000 ฟีต
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find an end. It's gonna be a little bit of like a game of patience here, but I mean we're going Mach 2.4, and this is not the end yet.
Okay, I have faith. Show infantry. We won't have any infantry to show you right now on the stream, but there'll be a lot of information on how you can give it a go and all the information very, very soon. We can't show you anything right now, but very soon those details and how to play and everything should be available.
We're hitting the map border. It's that quick. But we're going 3,800 kilometers an hour. You can see, and it's still accelerating.
Yes.
Like,
Can you reach 3,000 or will you rip?
let's give
Probably
it a
gonna
shot.
rip. I believe.
ก็หนูรัสเซีย
Doesn't look like I'm ripping. It's starting to.
Hey. Can you reach Mach 3 though?
It's starting to wiggle a little bit.
Oh, so
okay,
close.
Just close of it.
So
I think
close
if
to
I
Mach 3.
if I was going higher, there
Yeah.
would have been a chance. But yeah, extremely fast. Very good acceleration overall. Probably not going to be having to worry about the odd Harrier or something
Probably
chasing
not.
it down.
นี่ต่อ
Second vehicle that I briefly want to mention here
Finally
though, is the Torum 1. Yes, we already have one in
เล
the
ท11.3
Chinese tech tree. This one basically just fills the anti-air gap, I would say, between the Tunguska 10.7 and the Panzer 12.0. Gives you a vehicle with a relatively high performing long range
แบบนึง
anti-air missile. Stats on this are basically the same as on the Chinese one. It's the same version. So you can kind of understand that it's probably going to perform in the kind of same field. Which brings us back to you.
Yep, I've got a few more ships to show you. So I love Prince of Wales. It probably has such a dumb thing to really like. It probably has my favorite turret out of any naval vessel ever. I don't know why. It's the quad and like the flat front. I think it's just, I really like it. I like how it looks a lot. Though the armor is completely unfinished right now, so I can't, well, I could show you it, but it would give you the wrong impression. It's similar, a little bit similar to Vanguard. So expect some quite good things for this one. The auxiliary armament still very, very nice, and I'll show you the gun performance too. You've got your HE and your AP. Really, really nice ship. I won't show you any more just because, again, it's not quite finished. But I think aesthetically, it's one of my favorites of all time. Really nice to see it in the game. I also briefly have Fiji to show you,
ฟิจิ
which is it's a colony class, so it's like slightly a weaker version of the county class. I've got Southampton here.
ฟิจิ
Regarding firepower, they're the same pretty much. They have the same main armament.
คนโท
Main difference is that the armor's not quite as effective. It's got a little bit more crew, but protection not quite as effective. Southampton, the county class, has the ammunition well underneath the waterline. For this class, not so much. They're a little bit easier to hit, so it's at a lower battle rating. So a little bit different. It's like a side grade, I guess, in a way. You've got some advantages at lower BR, but still quite similar. And Fiji's quite, I think it was sunk in 41, I think, by aircraft. I think Fiji, after it ran out of anti-air, I think. Yeah, it's quite like an iconic ship, I think, for the time. But yeah, it's the first of the class too, so nice one to have. And you can already hear my ears ringing by what
ป
you
ก
want to
ติ
show next.
มันต้องควรมาตอนประมาณปีหน้าเว้ย
That is a good play on this
ไม่
vehicle's
Harrier เวอร์ชันอัปเกรด
history, I guess. The Ajax, which is coming for the British tree, sporting a 40mm cannon.
ดูดีมากเลยใช่
That
ดูเท่
is
ใช่
not belt fed, but you have a ready rack. You have a high amount of shells in that ready rack. I believe it's 60 or 80 rounds.
Yeah, it's going on.
เลท11.3
You have
13 ไม่ใช่อะ
pretty
ไม่น่าใช่
high
อะ
pen shell or an IFV here with 157mm on the APF SDS. You also have a head ammunition, which is kind of a force
อ๋อแต่มันไม่มีลูก
multiplicator
เข็มอ๋อมี
for
ลูกเข็มนี่ลูกเข็ม
you being
40
able
ปืน
to
40
better
เป็น
shoot
ปืน
down
40 มิล
helis and planes that are coming your way.
อืม
Same shell that I think is also on the Puma. So we have that in. We have other HE and
เดี๋ยวขอดูนะ
Hand fuse
แล้วอย่างเงี้ยไม่ค่อยจะเทส
HE shell as
เทส
well. Personally like using those on some things. Then again, it's not a very big shell, so you're probably not going to be able to proxy something over a hill or something like that. What you would be able to do with like a really big HE shell, but at the same time, also not necessary for an IFE. I
เรื่อง
have
performance มีปัญหาแน่
moderately okay
Ignore the armor hole in the
มี
middle.
การส
Don't
ตรีม
forget.
ที่ดูแบบ
I
มี
just
การ
I just want to
เผา
briefly mention it. You know, this also not in the same category of like a BMPT in terms of full armor, but it's well enough armored so that you're able to withstand some heavier machine guns shooting at you. Which there's a lot of vehicles that have 50 cal, so that's probably something you might want to have. You have a 200 rounds per minute fire rate on the gun, which is well, it's the same firing rate that you have on Bushmasters, but you have a 40mm cannon instead. And
Yeah, it's the same.
a
It's
lot more
effectively
pen.
the same gun as on the Jaguar.
Yeah, true. Actually, yes, that one is a different designation, but it's of course same caliber. You have thermals, and
Yeah, this one has no. We're on an A road. Ignore the siren.
อ
Sorry.
ยู่อังกฤษแน่เลยเนี่ยรถ
This
ร
one
ถ
has no
รถ
javelins
พ
or
ยาบาล
anything, but
มา
we
รถหมอเนี่ย
there probably will be more Ajax variants in the future, in different setups and stuff. But this one is just the base variant for now.
yes, and that moves us to Japan.
ไป
Yeah,
เจแปน
that's
กันเลยก่อน
something to show for Japan.
นี่เรือแล้วปุ๊บอ่ะทำไมอ่ะ
So
โอ้
this
ย
is a Yodo, which is a ship I did not know much
โอ้
about.
ยหมดเรือจริงๆ
The
ว่าเฮ้ย
version that we have here is the later variant. This one initially had like a much higher like seaplane armament, but this is the later mod with better anti-air protection. It has auxiliary
Stop,
100mm
you-
guns, which is pretty good
you-
because they're the same, effectively the same that's on Akazuki. So the fire rate is really, really strong. You've got the dual, triple 155s at the front, so firepower is pretty good.
พี่จะเปิด
overall,
ป้อมหน้า
ammo positioning is okay apart from the anti-air rack at the back, and your armor protection is what you could really expect for a 5.3. It's a cool one. It's very unique. It's a nice ship, so I can't give you too many details because I mean, to be completely honest, I don't know a huge amount about it. But in terms of what it can add to the game, it's pretty unique. These guns I really like. You'll know them from some of the later light cruisers as well. Anti-air protection's good, and you can still deal some withering fire with these auxiliary guns too. So not too bad in terms of anti-air protection. Really good. It's a little bit better. I mean, of course, it's better than like a Suzu and Kuma and that kind of thing. So it's a nice ship. I'm quite happy to see this one. I like weird ships, and it's certainly weird. So we have that. Also, I'll show you the Type 61B. This is a new premium. It's effectively a sort of a cosmetic premium, which I think is some of the best really that you can get. It doesn't detract from the main tree. It's just like a more visually interesting analog to the version that's already available. The B version, it's like the Type 90B in that it's very slightly different, but not really in a way that affects gameplay too much. So it is a different variant. I think it's also, this is the 3rd division of the 13th Battalion. It's got the dragon on the side. I think that's right. I'm not sure. Possibly. But yeah. Also, this will prelude a redesign of the model for the base Type 61, which will also get a redo and slightly more detail and some refinement as well. But this will just prelude it. So you've got a more interesting variant here as a premium. Not detracting anything from the tree, it's just an extra thing if you like it, so reinforce the lineup. It's a pretty decent lineup. You've got the nice light vehicles and then your regular versions as well. So not too much to say about it. You all know this vehicle. Yeah. Nice little premium to include at rank 4 because the Harry prototype and the Tiger are not exactly the most easy to own, I guess.
Yeah.
So nice
Which
one.
just immediately brings us back to more planes. There's also some new additions in the
พวก
Japanese
อินโด
tree
ไง
in terms of well, intermediary jet battle ratings and top tier. First, we have the Hawk 2.9. We already have some Hawk 200s in the game. This is the, I believe, Indonesian
โดนโปแลนด์แล้วเหรอ
Hawk 2.9 version that sports a really big anti-ship missile for one, with a Sea Eagle, which this is a really a big weapon that you can lob at something. quite massive. You also have the ability to bring a gun pod on the bottom here.
Yeah, I'm
of the
not
vehicle.
100% sure, but I think because there's on the other Hawk, there's like a dent. No, the inverse, sort of an outcrop underneath that prevents the gun pod from fitting flush. But on this one, it will fit. I think anyway. Please don't quote me on that. I'm not too well versed in it, but
Yeah, sadly, I'm a big fan of having at least a gun
แซม
pod
อ่ะ
if a
แซม
vehicle
ท่านน่ะ
doesn't have
ฮะ
like
ที่จอดอยู่ข้างๆนะคืออะไร
within fuselage weapons.
เปิดไปดูดิ
Like on, say for example, the F4 versions that the British have. You have a gun pod, and because the plane itself doesn't have a gun itself, so you get a gun pod. It's good for this one as well. The Hawk is not the fastest. You're not going to chase down things. You're more in a position where you're going to be defensive, which means it's good to have a gun and a gun pod in this case. You have the ability to bring two M9 P4s, which are the M9Js with the M9L seeker, which basically means they're all aspect. That makes this quite potent, I would say, in terms of shorter missile engagements, because you can get a good missile in that has a good seeker, even from off-bore angles when you are not just able to slot in behind something. And you also have 60 flares. Again, I'm a big fan of vehicles that have this, especially at this kind of battle rating. There's still vehicles that are not sporting flares. Oops. And so that is a good addition.
yeah, like the only negative I think is that it doesn't have much of a lineup around its own BR. But it can still work well beyond its BR in the later lineup with the Type 90s and stuff. So, yeah, not much around it though, which is a bit of a shame. But
But that lets me move up. We have the, I believe, Malaysian.
มาเลเซีย
it's very shiny as well.
Yeah, SU30. It looks a little bit, it has gloss on it. If you kind of look at
เฮ้ย
it.
อันนี้
which-
พีคอย่างงี้ได้อยู่
With the version that we have in the game here, has a really powerful radar. This is also a phased array radar.
นี่แหละ
You have
โอ้โห
the
สูง30
RVVSD
ต้องอย่างนี้เปล่าวะ
missiles,
นี่
which
ต้องไปแผก
these
แปลกสัก
are
เกตข้างหน้าไม่ใช่เหรอ
I think the same missiles that we have with the R77-1. It's just the
โอ้
export
จ
version.
รวด
That's
แม่ง
why
ยัง
it is
เยอะ
a
เลย
base
ทำไม
missile
มัน
in
เยอะ
this
จัง
case.
อ่ะสายไม่ใจ
Same
มัน
as
เยอะ
with the
จังอ่ะ
SU30SM, you can bring up to 14 missiles.
นี่มันต้องติดจรวดอย่างนี้ดิโอ้โหมันน่าภูมิใจหน่อย
Large variety, and I'm just going to use this view a little bit here and hover over some of these. You have a large variety of run support,
หมอก
class
เขียนมาเล
options,
ไม่ใช่หมอกมาเลเซีย
including
ปะ
the Grom. There it is. Guided bomb
โอ้นี่แหละ
that
โอ้
you can
นี่
bring
มัน
on this.
ของของแท้
And,
เนี่ยเลทเนี่ยแหละ
some of
13
the
14ไง
KH
เลท
including the
14 3ก็ธรรมดาอยู่แล้วท็อป
on a platform that is basically just sporting a really powerful radar, similar to the SU30M, SM, sorry, with also I believe the same engines. Also, we have the FA-18D, which this one doesn't sport a phased array radar, but you have the similar loadout that you also have on FA-18C Lates. So this is roughly going to play similar to those, both in the US or the German tree, for example, where you have these with also a large variety of custom loadouts, because it's the FA version, not just the F like it's in the Swedish tree, which gives you a lot of variety, be that you wanting to use it in air support, in air
ตัวสอง
tank
ที่นั่ง
RB, or if you want to, play it in RB. That's basically allowing you to do both.
ธงอะไรธงอะไร
They're
เนี่ย
currently in the bomber line, so to the far
Yes.
right. Maybe that'll
can
change.
show-
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can
That's
show
where
you
they are
that
right now.
briefly as well. You can kind of see they are
Quite a big
protruding
jump.
down from the
ใครอะใคร
from
ศู
the
นย์สามของ
G8
ฉันล่ะ
over here.
นี่
Not sure if that's going to change, but
Oh.
that's
Yes.
where they are right now.
It
ยังไม่
being the
ปั่น
dev
แล้ว
stream, everything is subject to
อยู่หลากหลาย
change
นี่
still,
เฉย
but that is where they are at least positioned right now. And the last thing on the Japanese tree that I can show you today is the Type 03
นี่
Chusam, which is the new top tier
New Top Tier
anti-air
นี่
for the
Anti-Air
Japanese
เท่
tree that comes with
ใหญ่เบลอเลย
typical radar control units and
โอ้เห็นตั้งแต่ไก่โห
2 ELs. You can bring up to, I believe, 12 missiles.
Two launches.
With this, with 2 launchers that are 6 missiles each. They are
โอ้โหลูกละเท่าไหร่
more long
ลูก
range.
326
Missiles themselves have a range for up to 80 kilometers.
ยิง50 ถึง 80
And,
โลมันคือแพตตี้ออดแหละ
If I had to slot them in, I would say they are not very good for really close range, defense. Anything that is within like 1 or 2 kilometers is probably not going to be hit by these, purely off of the fact that they're not very maneuverable when they're coming off the rack. They just kind of accelerate out and then stabilize and then speed up, and then they're really potent. Whereas if you have other vehicles like the NASAMs that I'm looking at soon, or the Tor that you have in the Russian tree as the edition, those are more for a shorter range defense because the missiles are very maneuverable off the rack. But this kind of essentially fills like a...
It was kind of, I think it was needed for Japan. Really.
Like a long range defense gap that you have, basically. All right, that brings us back to you, I believe.
Oh, next, I think. I think you are jumping to China next for you, isn't it?
นี่ชายนี่ H11
True, actually, yes. Of course, yeah, you're already one further. You were eagerly looking at that, but
Of course.
yes.
บอกแล้ว
Let me
พูดไม่ทัน
quickly
ขาดคำเอาไว้ด้วย
go down here. We have
นี่
another
รุ่นนี้
anti-air vehicle in the Chinese tree this time.
อันนี้
This one
อันนี้
is
มัน
not
อันนี้มันแรงบันดาลใจมาจาก
kind
อิ
of
สราเอลนี่นะ
filling that super high range gap as the Type 03 is, because the missiles on this one are only running for a maximum range of 30 kilometers.
30 ถึง 60
It's a little bit more short range. They also come off the rack. I can show you that, I guess, in a
แล้วก็
test drive.
M1 เนี่ย M1 A2T
In a second, you also don't have TELs. You just have like 1 unit with up to 8 missiles.
ไม่ได้เทส
Just quickly
อุตไป
run the
ดู
test
ญี่ปุ่น
drive.
ไม่เทสมากกว่า
Briefly mention that one because we have a lot. One of the very long vehicles, basically.
Yes.
But I just want to briefly mention what I mean with the missiles performance when it comes off the rack, because these are more maneuverable, as you see. They don't go ballistic and then
ไม่เห็นเก่ง
accelerate
เลย
the
วะ
whole way. They launch out
ยิงกัน
and
นะ
then
ยิงไม่โดนไม่รู้จะว่าไงล่ะ
immediately go for its target, whereas you have some other anti-air units here that can't really defend from that close of range. Then also we have the M1A2 in the Chinese tree. This one has specs that are roughly translating to the M1A2.
Yeah, it's slightly stripped down. It's not a V3 as a lot of people. There's some websites I think that say it's a V3. It's not. It's just like a watered down V2.
You have a different smoke cartridge launcher. You don't have the task package. You have a
laser warning.
Yeah, you don't have a laser warning exactly. You have a laser rangefinder, of course, but you don't have a laser warning receiver. And you have a KEWA2 shell, which, if you compare this shell to the SIP3 that we have on the American tree, it has 1 millimeter less pen on the shell overall. The M829A2 shell has 629 millimeters max pen at 10 meters and 0 degrees. So this is very similar in terms of the shell itself, but roughly somewhat stripped down M1A2 that is still pretty potent, I would say. Then the last vehicle, before we go back to you, I see how eagerly you want to show everybody the Luigi Cardona. Hope I said that right. The J10C in the Chinese tree. Now, I checked one of the first things on here for the amount of missiles that you can bring and what missiles types you have. Currently, you're able to bring 2 additional PL-12s in this underwing configuration that you see here. that is +2 missiles, bringing up to 8 radar missiles that you can bring on the plane. It also has a more powerful radar. This is also one of the vehicles that now has a phased array. And also currently it sports the AL31FN Series 3 engine, but this might be subject to change still. I believe they are looking at maybe, you know,
I think so.
changing this and also the model for it, because this is the engine area is the same model as on the J10A right now, and there might be some changes coming there.
I think so.
That brings us back to you now.
Yeah, I've got a few brief things I can show you before we move on to other stuff too. A couple of new vessels for Italy. There's Armando Diaz, which is very similar to the Battle Pass ship, Luigi Cardone. Offensive armament is pretty much the same, it just has different anti-air, and this version has torpedoes with some reloads as well. So it's nice. Italy has some pretty good like early cruisers. So nice to see some more. I like the 152s that they have too. But I really like Cassiopeia, which is their new coastal ship, which has a 76 on the front. And I don't know why, I like ships like this. It doesn't necessarily look like a combat vessel, I guess, if you know what I mean. But I like this. I think it's a cool design, and it's nice for Italy. It's a very unique ship too. The only difficulty really is that the main gun is very easy to knock out and disable. It's a 76. It doesn't have AP, just types of HE. And the rack as well is, you can hit that from the front. Give it a helicopter. I don't know. Maybe in the future, I don't know. But it's really cool. I like this. I think the design's interesting. That's coming for Italy Coastal, I think before the Saeta. So
I like the gun on the pedestal.
yes, it's very easy to disable, unfortunately, and that's the primary gun. You do have some auxiliary 20s, but you know. So for me, you've got a light vehicle friend to observe.
We have a Italian IFV that we can show you. And now bear with me, Freccia
สไปร์ปะ
OWS30. Almost said that right.
แต่ปืน แต่ปืน30เลยนะ
This one has a 30mm Bushmaster, 200 RPM. The big thing that this one sports is you have really high mobility. We already have other vehicles on the Italian tree that are operating in that kind of 110 kilometers an hour max speed. Like the Centauros and some of the others that are on the wheel then, but they don't sport Spike LRs and not that much ammunition either, because the Freccia over here has up to 10 launches of Spike LRs in the current way how it's implemented on the dev, which the Spike LR being a pretty potent weapon, especially this kind of battle rating, is probably, together with the mobility, allowing you to get some kills on things that might not expect to be launched on, and maybe also not might expect you to have 10 rounds of them. You have a engine in the front, which is pretty good to have, considering that you also have very low armor, which means at least you don't get 50 cal down immediately when you're like rolling around a corner. You have a better like side protection here for this, and you also have thermals on the vehicle, which means that you're kind of equipped out to a good degree in 10.7.
Yes.
Which I believe brings us back to you.
Yeah, I've got a few more things from France to show on the naval end as well. So we have Suffren.
Show us the goods.
Of course, which is very, very similar to Colbert. There's not a huge amount to show you there. The main armament's the same. Difference with this one is the anti-air protection is a little bit better, but it has no seaplanes. But other than that, relatively the same as the other ships in the class. And we also have the Le Corse Premium, which is not what I want to jump to. It's similar to Bressoir, but it doesn't have the 100mm on the back. It's purely 57mm. So it doesn't really have, because these guns can't adequately damage destroyers, so it can wipe decks really, really well. But it can't cause like traditional penetrating damage to destroyers, which is a bit of a problem, I think. But in close range, it's really good. You've got the anti-submarine launcher, which if you hit at close range, that's going to do a huge amount of damage. And you have a lot of close range torpedoes as well. So if you can get this thing into close range, it's going to do incredibly well. But it's just getting to that point. But aside from that, guns at long range, not quite as effective against aircraft and light ships. Really good against destroyers, anything heavier, not quite. But get it into the right spot and it will do work. But yeah, similar to Bressoir, but not quite as versatile, I would say, overall. That's my quick naval interlude before some more stuff for you.
Very good, though. Thank you. All right. We're going back. This time we're going to Sweden to cover the NASAMS, which I briefly mentioned earlier that we have it in 2 trees. So we're coming back to the Swedish one here, slotting in as the top of the line now for Swedish air defense. You have the really small kind of anticlimactic radar unit, I guess, over here. If you compare this to a lot of other of these anti-air modular units, you have a radar control unit and the TLs. Usually they're a little bit bigger, but this also is quite nice because you're probably going to be able to hide it better. You have 2 TLs, 6 rounds each. Before I go into test drive, let me show you the missile options that you have. So you have the MNX Block 2, which is an IR missile in comparison to, say, like an M120C7 or the AMRAAM ER. You have the option to mix a little bit in terms of, do you want more close range defenses or do you want more long range defenses here, which not all anti-airs that are coming this patch have this like selection option, which means you can cover yourself off from even helicopters that are intruding into your like private area, I guess, within like 2-3 kilometers. You'll be able to fight back. But then you also have the AMRAAM ER, which with like a 40-kilometer range now. Launched from a plane, these of course have more range, but if you're launching them from the ground, diminishes the range a little bit. But 40 kilometers from a ground launch system like this is pretty strong still. You're probably not going to launch it a longer distance for a lot of vehicles in ground rate. Let me quickly go on a test drive. Of course, you have the 2 TELs that you can put down. Just put down 1.
They're not quite as sizey as the others as well. So
yeah, they're more nimble. Like you can actually sort of try to hide behind certain things. They're very quick in terms of rotation on them, and because of the missile types that you have and what you can launch them on, they actually do hit within even close range defenses as well. Just want to launch everything here.
Why not? It's not a G-Wagon. Calm down.
Fantastic look. Yeah, it kind of has the vibe of one though.
The vibe is similar, yes.
Yeah, I have my 2 dudes down here. My man is holding it really chilled there.
Yes.
Also have you have a radar unit that is really mobile as well.
Yeah.
That's the other part, because this is more on the Jeep end of things, so you're not dragging around 50 tons of some big truck. I can go 100 in this, as you see. Which means I can maybe not get away from a plane that is strafing me, but I can try to get away from a tank that is chasing me down, which
a bit hard to do, but you can give that a go.
Good luck trying to do that in a really big IRST system.
Yes.
Or anything of the like. So definitely more on a nimble end, but very powerful missiles, and you have 2 TLs that you can plop down as well. Quite nice. Let's switch back to you. You're eagerly looking at the
very small thing to show at the end. Carver Mark 1 for Israel, which was missing so far. So it's a 9.3, so it fits into the lineup with the Magax. It's a little bit less refined than the Macarver Mark 1 B, which I think that was one I was showing you by accident. Anyway, this version does not have the smoke grenade charges. They're the regular ones. It doesn't have the thermal, laser warning receiver, or M413, so it's slightly less effective, but it fits into the lineup well. It makes sense for Israel to have it. So that's a brief thing to say there. There is something more to expect for Sweden. The thing that you all are probably expecting will probably arrive quite soon. It's just not ready for us to show you right now, so don't worry, please. Soon. That should be ready for you to have a look at. And we do have a little bit more time towards the end, so you could probably jump into Winter Poland, because that's been updated. Give that a look.
Let's do that.
And
yes.
I'll try and read like a little bit of chat messages here before we finish and move on to the next stream. Our colleagues will be doing another stream. They'll probably show you some things that we haven't, some more like detailed stuff. But I'll try and cover a couple of questions here while we finish. That's okay.
Let me quickly load.
Sure.
Start before I switch back to my screen.
Go for it. Dev server should open shortly after the stream. And I believe there should be infantry news on the website right now for you to have a look at if you're interested in how it's going to work and how to take part in the testing and all that sort of thing. So that should be there for you to have a look at now. Hopefully. And I'll briefly have a look.
Yes.
Let's have a look. Where is the Ajax and the tech tree? Let me double check for you. It's currently in the far right line after the VT, the VFM, and the MTTD.
Can I switch to that, or?
No, it's I think you'll see soon. But yeah, it's in the far right line right now. The Ajax. France said there is a Rafale. I think our colleagues will show you that soon. There will be some, generally some additional skins for a lot of the top tier jets. They're not quite ready yet, but expect them as always, and they should be there in one of the later iterations of the dev server. We can't show you infantry right now. There's no like mode for us to jump into, unfortunately, for time. But if you go to the website, there should be news right now for you to have a look at to show you the how testing is going to work and what to expect. Excuse me, sorry. Can we test the MiG-25 in the dev server? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it'll be available to test fly. Possibly. I don't know, unfortunately. Sorry. What's with Gripen E? Not quite ready to observe yet, but it should be there at some point soon to have a look at.
Hopefully soon. Where's the F-18E in the tech tree?
I'll double check again for you so I do not get that wrong. The F-18E, the new one, is after the current F-18C. Late.
So it's in the
So the middle
F-18, F-14 line.
Yeah, it's in the middle line right now. The Fireball BR is currently 4.3. Might change a little bit. We couldn't say. What Germany get this update? They get a new Eurofighter with Acer, the Jaguar 2 missile platform, 2 new ships, and yeah, they've got a wedge of new governments to have a look at. Where can I watch the other stream? We can probably link to it in a moment, and they should show you some new stuff. They'll go live in a couple of minutes. The BR, I think, of the MiG-25 right now, I think is 10.3. I would expect that to change. I couldn't say.
Or mods should be able to put the link for the
they'll post it for
stream
you.
of our colleagues.
I think the Eurofighters right now aren't folded. They're separate, at least for right now.
And you shoot the Booker. Yes.
You can.
As a good reload.
This is the M10 Booker. It's a new tank for the USA. It's a tech tree vehicle. No submarines to observe right now.
ไม่มีเนอะคือเกมนี้อย่าไป
I don't think any of the
อย่าไปหวัง
Eurofighters are
ลม
folded
ๆแรงๆอะไร
right
กับมัน
now.
มาก
I'm not sure if that will change, but right now they are
ไม่
separate
ผิดหวัง
vehicles.
อะดีที่สุดเนี่ยไม่ผิดหวังเลยเนี่ยโอ้ยเข้ามา
Will the Gripen E be shared off by your
ไม่มี
colleagues?
อะไร
I
ว้าว
don't
เล
think
ย
it's ready yet or
ว้าวแต่ละ
completely
คนมันไม่
configured.
เหมือนกันเนี่ย
But
แต่ว่า
soon
ถ้า
enough
ส่วน
it
ตัวนะ
should be there.
คือถ้ามันจะอัปเดตให้มันว้าวอะไม่ต้องควรอัปเดตอย่าง
I'm
เงี้ย
not sure if
ขอ
it'll be folded, unfortunately.
ไป
I couldn't
ทำเกม
say.
ก่อนไป
I'm not sure yet.
คุณมีเวลาหลายเดื
The
อน
M10 Booker is currently
คุณเอา
10.7.
เวลาที่แบบคุณเอามาทำ
at least right
ไม่เอางานเผาอย่างเงี้ยขอเป็นงานที่แบบคุณภาพแล้วขอแบบลงทีเดียวได้ไหม
No tech tree
3 เดือน
MiG-25
หาย
right
ไปเลย
now. I don't know if there will be one.
3 เดือน
The version that we have right now to show is from
แต่
the
ไม่
Winter.
ใช่เอาอย่างเงี้ย
There's a post, a news post right now about the infantry, and that will have more details there on how to take part, what to expect, and that sort of thing.
ไม่รู้นะว่าคนจะเห็นต่างหรือเปล่าแต่ว่า
no
ส่วน
news
ตัว
about Greek
ถ้าว่าจะ
vehicles right
ทำ
now.
ก็ไม่ต้องอัปเดตหรอกก็ได้
PL15 plans,
Oh,
not
3
right now,
แพทแม่งมารวม
probably
กัน
for the
ยังจะ
future.
ดู
I
น่า
wouldn't
ดู
expect. It's not going to come in this update.
Getting stuck on the ice over here. It's just so magnetic driving on it.
The BMPT is in the tank destroyer line right now, so not in the light tank line. New gen missiles when? Not this update. Probably next year. Yeah. Repeating this dev server? I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't say. It's not ready to show right now. It may not be ready to see in the first iteration of the dev server, but hopefully sooner rather than later you'll be able to have a look at it. No infantry demonstration right now. Soon we can see. Yes, the B-25 cockpits. There's a couple that are ready. Our colleagues might be able to show you. The B-25J20 is ready, I think. I don't think the PBJs are, but soon you'll be able to have a look yourself. Can we raid the next dev stream? We tried before and it didn't work. We could try again.
We can try again.
It depends if they're on Twitch or just YouTube. If they're on Twitch, we can.
Let me check that. Let's switch over. We are
sure. I'll just have this open
over here. See, for Twitch at least we can see.
Sure. If they're just on YouTube, then we can't, but we can. We'll post a link for you to jump over there. They should have begun, I think, now. If they've not already counted down, maybe we can check.
They are only on YouTube.
Okay, just on YouTube, no problem.
Okay. Well, then our mods will put.
Yeah, they've linked it. They've linked
links in the chat once we are finished, both on YouTube and Twitch, hopefully, and then you should be able to find your way. In that case,
that's everything. Sorry we didn't get around to all your questions. We often don't have too much time at the end to cover it, but our colleagues will show you some new stuff. The dev server should be up soon. If you are interested in infantry news, if you go on the website right now, there should be a news post about all the details that are currently available, and sooner rather than later, you'll probably be able to test as well. But nothing for the dev server right now, but soon, at least, you'll be able to. And yeah, we didn't show everything. Our colleagues will probably show a few more things. There's a couple of extra details, like more technical stuff, which they are better at explaining than we are, in honesty. So they should be able to show you that as well. So thank you very much for the time today, everyone who's watched. Please click the link in the Twitch chat. I think maybe on the YouTube chat as well, which should send you over to our colleagues, and they'll show you some different stuff as well in the Russian language. And there's probably some content creators as well who will live translate it for the for you guys. So yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much, everybody, and we'll probably see more soon for more stuff to observe. Dev server soon. Changelog, of course, all the current details will be there. There's some stuff that's not ready, which you should see soon too. Maybe not on the stream, but on the dev server and the later iterations. Anyway, I think that's everything from us today. So thank you so much, and we'll see you very soon.
You said it all. Also, thank you for watching from me. I hope we see us in one of the future streams, be that one of our regular streams or one of our dev streams. And in the meantime, I hope you continue watching with our colleagues on the other side.
Yes.
So thank you very much, and see you until next time.
Yes. See you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.
โอเคเอาละทุกคนก็ตามระบบตามระเบียบแล้วก็ตามแผนเหมือนเดิม สิ่งนี้ที่ warthunder อัปเดตมาแล้วก็แล้วแต่คนจะคิดนะเนาะทหารราบมันยังไงนะทหารราบมันยังไงหรอเป็นถ้าอยากลองเล่นต้องเป็นโค้ดเบต้าอยากลองเล่นนะแต่นี่ก็ไม่ได้สนใจหรอกเพราะว่าถ้าแบบพูดในมุมมองของเกมอะเกมนี้มันเป็นเกมรถถังมาทำเป็นแนวอย่างนั้นมันไม่ใช่ว่าแบบทำ
Among the many combat aircraft of World War II, the Ace
ปิดยังไงอะทุกคนงั้นก็ปิดไลฟ์แล้วกันเนาะบ๊ายบายฝันดีทุกคน